Hi everyone, and today we're going to be learning about big data. You will be successful in your learning today if you can explain the difference between data and information, explain that big data is huge sets of data information, understand that big data can be used to solve world problems or to customize adverts, and understand that lots of information is held about people on computers. Now, in order to get us started and get our brains working, what I want you to do is please make sure that you've got open the Lesson 7 Big Data task sheet from the Pupil Share Directory. Okay, when you've got that open, I want you to try and attempt the starter. Now, the starter is you've been given 4 words, and what I want you to do is come up with as many meanings for those words as possible. So they could be used in more than one context. So see if you can write down what they are. Pause the video, give yourself 5 minutes, and then discuss as a class to see if you come up with different answers. Okay, hopefully you've managed to come up with different answers for them. They can be used in lots of different contexts. And what we're going to do is have a look at one different example and talk about what we're meaning. Okay, so if I was to give you the word Swift, what might you think of? Okay, the word Swift by itself is what's called a piece of data. The data doesn't have any context. We don't know what it's being used. It's not in the middle of a sentence for us to be able to glean what the meaning might be in this instance, and it's not being stored in a database or some other information system where we can see what the data is being used. So we can only kind of guess about what it might mean if it was to be turned into information. For example, the first time you heard the word Swift, it might make you think of Taylor Swift, which would mean that Swift itself is a surname, giving it meaning and context and changing it from a piece of data to a piece of information. In turn, it might make you think of a car, so the Suzuki Swift. For example, it could be the model of a car that perhaps you have at home. Again, changing it into information, but a completely different context from a surname, as for Taylor Swift. Okay, a third example could be a type of bird. So the name of a bird, Swift, one of the swallow family. It gives you an example of where it might be used in a different context. And lastly, it might you think of a type of movement or a speed. So for example, the person was running swiftly down the road could be used as a sentence as well. Okay, so data is when you have a raw fact, figure, word, something that hasn't been given a meaning or a context. And then when you have information, that's when it's been given a meaning and a context by, for example, being put into a sentence, or where it has been put into some sort of information system like a database where you've got that information being held. Okay, so what I would like you to do now is on your lesson 7 task sheet, go away and complete task 21 and 22. 21 is just writing a short definition of what data is versus information, which I've just went over, and 22 is thinking about what your internet usage might say about you. Okay, your teacher's then going to show you a couple of short videos, and then you're going to go on to do a scenario about ordering a pizza. Okay, hopefully the rest of the lesson makes sense. Get your teacher to reach out to me if you've got any questions, and I hope you enjoy the lesson. Speak to you later, guys. Bye.